Well, everybody knows that South Africa is under a very serious crisis of crime. Only the president of this country doesn't know that there is crime in this country. And I want to say, Mr. President, we have actually become prisoners of our homes. We have got multiple burglar proofs in our houses, but still crime finds its way to actually penetrate into our homes, and we are always living in shock. And some of the people who have been crime victims, they still continue to live with that trauma, and it doesn't look like it's getting better. Actually, the president continues to ignore this issue, and it is a problem. Now, getting into the specific farms attack, we want to stretch it further. I would love to stretch it further to also in suburb areas. And you keep wondering that if we're going to continue to live like this as a country, where exactly are we going? You know, it's more like criminals have got more rights and more advantage than the civilians of this country, which is something that we should actually be worried about. So the president went to see Donald Trump in Washington, D.C., and they had a consultation, and he was shocked as always. He doesn't know what is happening in his own country. And this is a very, very big concern, because I feel more like it's either we have a very ignorant kind of a president or a liar, a blatant liar, someone who just lies and claims to know nothing about certain issues. By the way, there's more proof to these issues, and now you start to wonder, as a country, where exactly are we going? We can't have grannies carrying guns in their houses, an 80-year-old carrying a gun just to protect her life.
The dog barked out on the veranda, and I looked to see who was arriving so that I could open the gate, and there was a suitcase thrown over the back wall, the front wall. So I phoned our security people. They came. When they opened the suitcase, it had a video machine in it. They discovered a house just down the road had been burgled. These people have been cleaned out. But my friend's son happens to be a security agent. This is my gun. Fortunately, I don't have much occasion to use it. But that's it. I've had shooting lessons. I know how it works. When I had a burglary a few years ago, when I was on my own, and I had a burglary, and I was so paranoid for about 3 weeks after it that I carried the gun with me wherever I went. When I was working in the kitchen, the gun was on the table next to me.
It's so sad. This is the life that we all live. You're always scared. You always wonder, when are they going to hit? Because it looks more like there's more criminals than good Samaritans, than people who are making honest living. And crime is a career these days. Crime is something that people actually treat it as a hobby. At the same time, they enjoy doing that. They enjoy torturing people. They enjoy terrorizing people and making their life horrible. And it is what it is. This is where we are. It is because we are having the African National Congress leadership who are just there to benefit themselves. They don't care about nothing. They are not fixing anything. They are not even concerned about the safety of the citizens. And we continue to face this kind of issues. So if you have been a crime victim, you will understand actually what I'm talking about. The trauma that it leaves you with, especially when the crime was very violent, that the perpetrators of the crime attempted to actually hurt you, GBH, all of those things. So you will always continue to have such trauma. Let's continue watching, squatters.
The other door is quite like
I'll do that, yes. Please just be careful of the dogs because they're towing the car outside and we're afraid of the dogs coming.
So inside your house,
This gate,
so your bedroom is,
all three of the bedrooms are
Okay.
back there. So we all sleep back there.
so at night time you also close
we
this.
close this gate as well. And then through here, we have another security.
And then there's another security gate
Another
through
security gate here which is kept locked.
here. Yeah. And your gun, Eileen?
My gun is in the gun safe.
In the gun
bed.
safe. Could
Oh, well, yes, we accept that every country has got its own issues, and South Africa, we happen to have a very serious crisis of crime. My question to the president is that how long are you going to ignore this issue? How long are you going to continue to act like you are shocked, act like you know nothing, whereas people of your country, the citizens of this country, are actually suffering on a daily basis? You know how expensive it is to have security at your house. I'm talking about alarms, I'm talking about electric fence. Those are very costly. And if you can check many years ago, there were no security alarms, there were no, houses were just built and put the burglar proofs outside. Now people are even putting burglar proofs inside their house, at their bedroom doors, treating your bedroom as a safe haven. You're too scared to wake up at 1 o'clock inside your house to go to the kitchen or to go to a sitting room because you're scared that the criminals might pounce on you and rob you and leave you with nothing. These days, when the criminals pounce on you, they can even spend 2 hours because they know they've got a privilege to commit crime. They can make you log into your banking details and clean out your accounts. They can, you can transfer, you can open your safe, they can take your firearm. If they caught you off guard, you open your safe, they're going to point a firearm on you, so you forcibly open the safe, so whatever, they can steal money from your safe, they can take whatever valuable stuffs like your watch, your necklace, your bracelets and everything. So we are always too scared. If you have money or maybe you have assets in South Africa, you're always living that life. You're living like a bird, you're always scared, you're flying from one place to another and all of that. So is this the kind of life that we should be living as citizens? Now, we're asking citizens that, should we continue to say, no, the president is right, there's no crisis in our country, we should just continue, act like nothing happened? How many crime victims in our country and how many cases are being reported and nothing happens? There's absolutely zero prosecution. And now you start to wonder, where are we going as a country? It is of a concern, and we'll continue, to push this so that maybe, just maybe, it will reach out to the president. I don't know which planet he's living in, because we're living in planet Earth in South Africa, the southern of the Africa side, where crime is very, very rife, and we don't know as citizens what to do. We've got family members who are staying alone, some of them, and you wonder if they can rob an 80-year-old granny and attack her. She's vulnerable. By the way, she's too old. So criminals are heartless. And now we've got a president who continues to tell Donald Trump that now he's shocked, nothing is happening in his country. They're showing him all the evidence that he is still shocked. He was watching Julius Malema chanting, kill the boer, kill the farm. He's still shocked. If we do nothing about these South Africans, also black people of this country, we continue to ignore, to say, no, Afrikaners are crazy and all of that, it will come to us. By the way, it has also arrived to our houses. We know that we get robbed all the time. Why do we continue to ignore crime? I don't understand. And if ever we are serious with fighting this crime, what do we do? What are we going to do? We can't go on and carry on like it's business as usual, when we can see that there's a very serious, there are people who had to close their businesses because of crime. There are people who are crippled today because they were shot by criminals. There are people who have lost everything today because of criminals. They are just poor because they've lost everything because they were robbed. Criminals get into your house, rob you. It's a house robbery. They force you to log into your banking app and take all the money that you have saved your whole life, all your savings. So we are still going to continue. Criminals, when they enter your house, they've got all the information and they can take up to an hour or 2 hours, whatever they want, and do as they please. Sometimes they traumatize people, they rape people, they do all those horrible things. Yet we continue to have people who are at the forefront, who calls themselves leaders and doing absolutely nothing. I don't know, South Africa. I'm just a concerned citizen. Till we meet again. Shalom.